Hi, everybody. Welcome to our Light Language Lounge featuring myself, David, and Temple. Today, we're going to be talking about light language and galactic language, all the ins and outs on that, and we're going to have a nice casual conversation in light language. Hope you guys enjoy.
Yay, awesome. I'm excited. Okay, so I think like one of the most common questions asked is, can you translate my light language? What would you say to that, David?
I would say start speaking.
Oh, very, very good. Start at the beginning of the problem. Before I start speaking, which I'm going to totally do, I'm going to give my impression of that because I answer that question all the time. So I'm going to say yes and no. Everybody might have a different impression of what was said. Are you actually speaking galactic languages? Yes, I think most of the time you are. But you have to remember that you're speaking the languages from all these different aspects of all these different galactic pieces coming together. So it might not always be one language. Now, sometimes it could be one language, but not necessarily. So you're throwing in different languages on top of one another. It's kind of like Spanglish, right? Like Spanish and English put together a lot of times. So yeah, you can get feelings. A lot of times the vibrations are there to put little packages in and open up for you when you need them. Other times we can get translations, but your translation may differ from my translation or David's translation. So yeah, that's what I have to say about that. What do you?
I would say that like the translations, because when Jim translates something, it comes through differently than when I translate it. And I think it goes through the filters of the individual translating. I think it's processed by what they need to hear in that moment as well. And there's many variables according to that, because I can translate light language most of the time, not all the time. And sometimes there's some beings that I just can't decipher, like anything in the divine realm. For me, I have difficulty translating, but anything in the 3D, 4D, 5D, whatever, up to 12D realm, I can translate. So I think that there's a barrier between the dimensions as far as that goes, like from divine to regular. But I think that was well said from what you said.
Yeah, and I think there has been times, David, where like I have to really be focusing in order to get a translation, and if I don't sometimes write it down, the speaking is going so fast that my human brain is not keeping up with being able to remember the translation. So if I don't get it written down, a lot of times it'll just kind of escape me. But the few times that I do get the translations, and then you have your translations, there are some times where they're pretty much the same, just said differently.
Yep.
And so I think that really counts for a lot too, because then you know that you are feeling or interpreting it, or you're connecting on some sort of energetical level, which I think is really awesome.
Yeah.
Can you hear that?
Not at the moment. But I would like to mention one thing. So I did love energetical level.
Energetical level, I know that's me like
So let's get past that.
It would be much easier just to say it all in light language and have you guys decipher how you want to decipher. We'll just give you the title of the video.
Yeah.
And you guys can just figure it out. No, I'm just kidding.
It's like practice lounge. Can you translate this light language?
Oh, practice lounge. Interesting.
It's an idea for the future.
Yeah.
Patent pending. Don't copy that shit. All right, so let's just start by, we talked about light language. We didn't really talk about where it comes from or what it is, per se.
Yeah, that's a really good, that's good.
So from my experience, light language is the language of your higher self. And there's many different aspects to your higher self. It may come from Lyra, a different constellation. It may come from one of your guides who may be an extraterrestrial, or maybe that's an angel. Just come from your higher self or some higher aspect of you. So it really depends, because it depends who I'm talking to, what languages will come through, because there's There's different languages and there's different dialects is another thing that's important to talk about.
Oh, totally. Just because you are connecting with the Palladium planet of Maya does not mean you're going to have one language coming through. It's like a melting pot.
Yeah, that is so true. And, okay, here's another point to talk about. Different light languages can communicate with different light languages. So everything is energy, okay? E equals mc squared. Everything that has mass is made of energy. So that's us. And our words are powerful since we actually use our voice box. Our words have power. So that's what abracadabra means. So what I wanted to say is, like, a Pleiadian and a Lyran can communicate with each other if it's a human and a human talking, and if it's a actual extraterrestrial, because they can feel the vibration of the words. And I'm sure with many of you who are watching this, you're sensitive enough to feel energies in your heart chakra, maybe feel it in your solar plexus or your throat chakra, sometimes your third eye. And these other beings can also translate. They can get the understanding of the message from the energy of it.
Oh yeah, totally. I was just looking up, for whatever reason, I decided to grab the galactic cards. And it talks about spiritual sovereignty. And I was thinking, because a lot of people wonder, well, how do I begin speaking light language, right? And that was kind of my question, even though I wasn't really asking a question. And I just found this interesting that this came up. So spiritual sovereignty is a place of complete balance. One walks in integrity and has completed unfinished business, confronted and owned the shadows, recognized illusion, knows self intimately without judgment. From here, a person becomes free to flow with the universe. And I think that's really part of, we all can speak light language or galactic language, but I think there comes a point in your life where you reach a certain position or aspect of knowing myself, and like, I'm totally not done completing all my unfinished business, and I'm still confronting my own shadows, but I've come to a place where I know myself intimately and working on judgment, and so my vibration is in a place where I can get the other vibrations from my own aspects of languages. Wow. Of languages. And so I think that's partially what has opened me up, is just realizing that things are so much bigger and accepting and going more with the flow. And I think that's one of the ways that you can unpack your galactic languages.
From my experience, the best way to heal yourself, or the best way to speak galactic languages to heal yourself, and that's removing the fear, the doubt that you're actually speaking light language. You're not working with demons and the devil and whoever fucking says that shit. That's just, I just laugh at that.
So that's good. Yeah.
I think that's something that a lot of people are faced with, because they have these belief systems that say, you can't do this, that's the devil, or whatever they say. And these create blockages in your energetic body. Because whenever you see something that you know you want to do, you're attracted to, but you can't do it because that's associated with something negative. So it might be fear. It might be, oh, if I speak, then I'll go to hell. Whatever it is.
Or even just feeling like an outcast, where people might not understand you and think you're,
yeah. And they probably won't understand you in the beginning, and even in the most advanced stages, like right now, I can speak galactic language whenever I want. And still, if I spoke in front of my parents, they'd probably think I was crack or whack, or whatever you want to say.
But standing in your truth, you will find your group. And like, that's the thing. If you're already watching this video, you're already working on it. You either have already spoken light language, or you're like right at that point where you're getting ready to, because you're hearing it in your head and it's coming forward. And so don't worry about the feelings of being rejected, or there's so many groups out there that you will find your group. And if you're wondering where we can point you to a group, we know tons of light language code groups. all kinds of stuff. So if you're wondering where those groups are, ask us in the comments, and we will give you guys some pointers to get started. So
yeah, I think that it's really important to do what makes you happy, move towards your highest excitement. And if that is speaking light language, or if you want to channel, speaking light language is kind of like a stepping stone into channeling. So a lot of beings will communicate with you through light language before you can channel them. And once you start breaking down the fear and the doubts, then you can actually get to a state where you can channel. Sometimes people that have a lot of anxiety because they think about the future and possible realities, what happens is that causes fear because they're like, well, what if this? What if this? I should, which is a word that no one should ever use ever, because should is a worst.
You just used it.
I know. It's terrible.
Should is a word that no one should ever use ever. I love that. That's great.
Never use the word in a sentence. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So
David's like, grammar Nazi will get me.
The should word creates doubt. It creates regret. It creates so many problems in life, like, oh, I shouldn't do this, but whatever. Or what if my parents find out? What if my friends find out? Will I be judged? All this crap. Sometimes you just have to say, fuck it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And just do what makes you happy.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And that doesn't mean that you have to, like, my parents don't know. I mean, it's cool. Like, you do your own thing. You're an adult, right? It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes you feel better, then come out to your family. It's all in due process. Like, I know people who have been speaking light languages for 10 years or so that are just now discussing it with their family. So don't think that there's a specific, step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. There isn't. It's your own steps, whatever you feel comfortable with. And that's how it goes. So do you have anything else to add to that, David, or you want to?
I think that's perfect. Let's get chatting.
So one of the reasons that we wanted to do this today real quick is because when I have a buildup of light language, I tend to not feel well. And eventually you will recognize your own feelings of when it comes to you and it wants to come out. And so I think that this was a really great opportunity to get together and share that. And so without further ado, do you want to have a conversation and we can kind of go from there?
Sure.
All right.
So I'm going to be speaking Lyran, if anyone's wondering. It's a language from Lyra, and it's actually specifically a feline race in Lyra, that language that I'm speaking.
Okay, hang on just 1 second. So I used to do what David just did, where he's like, I'm speaking this one language, I can tell you about them. I used to do that. But now I tend to roll so many different languages together that it's very hard for me to specifically say, this is who I'm speaking about, or this is who I'm speaking. This is who the group's language that I'm speaking. But in the end, sometimes I can say, well, I spoke this, and this. So you don't have to know what you're speaking in the beginning. It'll come.
Yeah, you don't have to know at all. Yeah.
David and I have been speaking for a long time. So go ahead, David.
So yeah, I just want to mention that one more thing, because I got backed up there a little bit when I was like, oh, broom. So, oh, sugar, I lost my train of thought. Okay, I'll just jump into it.
Yeah.
Anna Shauruke, Abrashanda Nahatwe, Anshanganur, Abraha Shahanda, Auke Sandare, Afunduanalia, Ashandau, Ushandea Hasia, Aukanaya, Eon Savena, Eraka Bashinda, Nalia Ushandeawa, Prakanda Nora, Elia Shaka Anna Sheva.
Ushodaya si punataya wa, bulukua shikiata sanaha. Bu ujua mazigulo tuteato a niasahana sewa. Kubushitia sata ai ua ma ni gua ajo adasi. Bu kutunu hudiasa. Masina ikiata ua putu.
Shangaria alla sanora felianda anna sarek vanja hatare anna veyunde nua halshanda au sandare anna sharak e brahanda e shakasi ena alun bruhu ashandare elia saha.
Ana natare du sudia sata mo bojigua tiataha kune sitiata asa munu bulugua bushati sinita asara bukua pushu masianata tika wana lutu siti nahita natikua buutu nahahanata.
Brula anna shaveasa raka na leauka shave kanasi alla sanora vanduru alla shahab anasarek e vundunai anna veshundanaria.
Jasiki nitiata Ushuti sikua muulu ko oshuti kahana. Tisitu ushu latiata sinikiata nahana wasa. Mupupiasho kuno tutiata anasuku lopua hashiku musuku utayanata. Kiatutiato ana yasua ika anatawa. So I would like to point out something. Whenever I'm translating and whenever I'm speaking, it's two different things. Well, at least my linear mind is breaking it down into two different things. Right. The first thing is I'm receiving a message from my higher self or whatever being. That is, so that means my brain or my spirit has to be harmonized with that being to be able to communicate, to be able to receive the signal. Secondly, when I translate, which I didn't translate today, but whenever Temple's speaking, I have to harmonize to her vibration that she's sending in order to translate that language. Yep. And I have to flip-flop back quickly to mine in order to be able to converse back and forth. So I just wanted to mention that, but I think just to keep the video nice and short, that was our demonstration on light language. Did you have anything to add, Temple? So I got a rough idea of like what you and I were talking about, and I would like to know if you guys have visions or feelings of what we were talking about also, because this is just interpreting through me, which is just working with my own vibration and connecting with David's vibration. So you could get something totally different, and that would be really awesome. And we'd like to hear what you guys are feeling. But so, yeah, write that in the comments below. Yes, please. I was getting the idea and the photos of talking about the specifics of different races. The specifics of different races and the human DNA strands and how they've affected how like a certain percentage, a higher percentage of this specific race has affected the human DNA is what I was getting. But that's really, really vague. So, it is vague, but that's wonderful to know that we're talking about that. Yeah. Even if it's just a guideline, people can connect to this energy and they can translate it or not. If they can't, then they receive the knowledge, they receive the vibration. They also receive beneficial effects from listening to it. Yeah. So we did our job. I was thinking before we end it, we could do like just a really quick activation for them if that's something that they're looking for. Yep. And we can keep them short, but I think maybe like if you're struggling in any way with, wanting your light language or just struggling with working around things in order to get to that next step for the light language, this is the activation that I want to give you. I want to be able to help you with that. So just sit back, relax, close your eyes, and we'll make it really short because David's will, I have a feeling, will flow into mine. And so it'll be one big activation at the end. So, Bushutia sata, hanasa, wakalati tuatia noto, bugulujiata, kiasana, alatia wamana, kushu mahasa, kuulupijanata, tutiata, natiata, wata, nudu, tutiata, totea, totea, sana hasa nasa wasa wa diata na tata putita na. Namaste.
I feel like there was more to come, but you cut it a bit short. Am I right?
I did.
Okay. Brukuana shaveanas arakanora shatari anasavoke anshadeonda rakandea washantia hata esuanda nalia shahar vionda ashadeova enaisave kanda rukuana shave anashahuka asandewa Naraka Dorea Beshundi Nari Elia Shahaka Anasaoke Veanas Eshundovea Ruku Andewa Shakanda Anasaruke Bashunda.
That's wonderful. I saw like our system, planets in our system, with little, let's say, stars or specks of gold that popped out of the planets, all coming in and heading towards Earth. So
Nice.
Good sign. Yeah, I think that's a good sign. So do you want to do a closing, David?
Sure. My name is David Lotherington. If you'd like to get a hold of me, you can find me on Camelot Healing on Facebook. Also, you can check out my YouTube videos at, I only have a few, but my name is David Lotherington on YouTube. Temple, did you want to throw in your information?
If you guys want to get a hold of me, I specifically deal in light language, various light language activations, soul pieces, past lives, sort of around that realm, a lot of readings and such. My YouTube is Your Temple Beautiful at youtube.com. We have a business page, Temple Beautiful, on Facebook, and so you can send us an email or contact us that way. Other than that, I hope you guys have a great day, and let us know in the comments below how you guys are doing, what you're looking for, if you saw anything with those activations, if you felt anything, and let's get some discussions going. So have a great day.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Awesome. Yeah, totally. Take care, guys. Bye.